And now I request our Foundation Chairman, our Chief Guest, Shri Uday Singh, to present his valedictory address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the members on the dais. This was not destined to be that I would be standing here delivering a valedictory speech. Probably I am the wrong man at the right place. Mr. Sonowal should have been here. But this is an assignment given to me. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I can hardly be a substitute for the eloquence of a cabinet minister who is in realm of things and would have said the most appropriate words. But what I would like to say is that we took a big leap this year in IISSM after 33 years of its inception by enlarging the areas of coverage to include disaster management, climate change, sustainability, in addition to the already existing security and safety areas. Little we knew at that time that if we add disaster management to our courses, some sort of disaster is likely to happen to the conclave. The parliament was in high express mode, and all the ministers who were supposed to come could not come out of the parliament. Mr. Singh has already stated that to you. But I, on behalf of all the dignitaries on the dais and IISSM in particular, and the foundation, seek your apologies for that. We made as much possible, to the extent it was possible, to get some individuals' messages from the ministers, including the one, Mr. Gadkari, who was to inaugurate. But we do understand, as I was talking to some of you, the disappointment who wanted to receive awards from them, who wanted to hear them, but these are unavoidable. Probably this only tries to tell us that we should plan for such disasters. So maybe doing this conclave when Parliament is not in session is one way out for next year. Even notwithstanding the absence of the chief guest on day one, I must say the conclave on disaster management could not have started in a better note, the first speaker being none other than Mr. Chandi, Mr. Chandi Prasad Bhatt. I will not repeat his several awards that he has received because you have heard it many times. To me personally, he gave a thrilling, highly impactful visual presentation in simple yet very thrilling and inspiring note. He also showed to us that disasters have been caused to the Himalayas and how he and his team and many others have been able to restore the damages done. And I was just wondering, listening to him, that finally it is the human being who destroys the ecosystem and he is the one who restores it. Maybe there is a message in that which he so plainly stated. These were the people who restored the damages done by other set of human beings. The delegates must go back with the message that we cater to this need, this subject of disaster management, which includes, identification, prevention, planning, climate change, as well as sustainability for the first time. there might have been some slippages, but I am sure that over 2 days you would have appreciated the intent of foundation, the secretariat and all others, how much pain had been taken to immaculately get experts, noted players and all other corporates and others who are doing significant work. We are sure that this is the beginning of the road and not the end. Probably every year from now onwards, the conclaves will get stronger, richer and better on these contents. I'll mention a few panels. The day one, Lieutenant General Hassanan was talked about understanding risks and interconnections. Professor Santosh Kumar, I heard him for the first time. He talked on strengthening risk assessment, public-private cooperation, other than for all other stakeholders, and that was an eye-opener for me and I'm sure for you all. Subsequent sessions by Dr. Bhatia on business continuity plan, Mr. Gopal Pillai, IIS on planning, recovery and knowledge management, they were also highly appreciated. Other sessions which followed were once again immensely rich in content and relevance. As the day one closed, we were all treated to a beautiful Odissi dance down on Ramayana, followed by melodious songs, an evening full of joy. Day two today started, although it was announced to start about 10 minutes earlier. Sorry to say, started 10 minutes later. And probably my own personal recommendation is that we should have, very strict timing on punctuality, with a very strict emphasis on punctuality and attendance. We feel happy that the labor and pain taken by us is worth it when you interact with the speakers and gain knowledge from IISSM conclaves. So a number of panels have today given stirring contents as well as discourse. To me also, who has been involved with a number of industries, including IT industries of late. One particular panel which was held on cyber security and how to prevent that, what will happen. I'm reminded by someone in Bangalore who was talking on such a similar session. He says, you all are living in a fool's paradise. Each one of you stand hacked already. And you only know that you are hacked when you detect it. But please believe me, each one of yours laptop and mobiles, they are already mirrored by Googles of the world. It's only that when we realize that disaster has happened to your bank accounts or something else, then you say, oh, sorry, I was hacked. No, you are already hacked. Try to prevent and take some simple measures. But the fact is that that was a very illuminating session. There were multi-product demonstrations and also multiple exhibitions. These added to our knowledge of latest technology and trends and the newfound confidence that India can make those products which were so far we were importing. I particularly like the product demonstration by Godrej and Boys, which at least to me it was clear that ethics leads the way of business and disaster management and sustainability and everything else. If ethics in business doesn't exist, none of these things will ever become reality. Something like 2,500 acres in Bombay being placed by industrialists that he will never create industry in that, but let that be helpful in sustaining ecological balance is something which I had not heard earlier. IISSM duly appreciates and expresses its gratitude to product presenters and the exhibitors. I made it a special point to visit each one of these stalls. They have taken pains to exhibit what they make, and it has been a great learning for me as well as I'm sure for all of you. Now something I have to also announce, which Executive Chairman and me were talking. Keeping in line with the enlarged vision of IISSM to include all these topics that you see here, Mr. Sinha and the Board of Governors have decided to recast, or let's call it reinvent IISSM for meeting extended expectations of industry and the delegates. You will commence to see these changes in the months to follow, and I'm sure that by the time next conclave takes place, you will have a team which is of diverse caliber and capability, and probably you'll be served even better than you are being done in the last 33 years. That is on the note that things must change, which is the only constant, and I'm quite sure that all of you will extend your full support in coming as delegates, in becoming members, remaining members, and attending in strength the global conclaves, which we plan to extend from 1 to 2 in at least 1 to 2 years' time. Because these are topics of relevance, knowledge must be transferred as quickly as possible. And I don't think there is any forum other than IISSM where we try to call the experts to share their knowledges. We can share, it's up to you to gain and retain. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you very much.